Nishino's life is far from ordinary, and each day is a careful dance between her public persona and the real person hidden beneath the glitz and glamour. Like any other morning, her day begins with the shrill sound of an alarm clock. It's her signal to leave the comfort of her luxurious bedroom and prepare for another day at school. As she groggily opens her bedroom door, the reality of her situation hits her like a freight train. A wave of anxiety washes over her as she remembers the relentless reporters lurking outside her family's mansion. They are hungry for the latest scoop, and their presence is suffocating, momentarily stealing her breath away. But before she can dwell on it, a familiar voice breaks through her apprehension. Her chauffeur calls out to her, a reassuring presence in this chaotic world, and she knows it's time to get moving. Descending the grand staircase and stepping into the sleek black car, it's evident that Nishino comes from a wealthy family. Unbeknownst to her and her chauffeur, a mysterious van is present near her home. Nishino's arrival at school is always an event in itself, drawing curious eyes from her classmates and teachers. She forces a fake smile even as she greets a boy she despises. He is distant and inconsiderate, especially in class, making her daily life more challenging. Lunchtime is her sanctuary, where she seeks solace in the empty bathroom. Here, away from prying eyes, she allows herself to reflect on the scandal that forced her to take a break from show business. It has forced her to hide behind a mask, a facade that is becoming harder and harder to maintain. On one particular day, Nishino decides to stay back for makeup lessons. Coincidentally, the boy Kagano is also asked to remain in school to tally up answers for a survey. Their paths are about to cross in an unexpected turn of events. As night falls, Nishino finishes her makeup lesson and tries to call her chauffeur, but his phone goes unanswered. It isn't long before she realizes that her chauffeur has been ambushed by the people in the suspicious van. With no other option, she decides to walk home alone. Her heart racing, as it's her first time walking home since the incident. Her journey home takes an eerie turn when she is suddenly blocked by the chauffeur's attackers, and before she can react, she is kidnapped. The world fades to black as she passes out, only to awaken bound and gagged in an abandoned building. The harsh reality of her predicament hits her like a ton of bricks. The kidnappers, after ensuring her silence, inform her to sit tight as a ransom note has been sent to her dad. Nishino's life hangs in the balance, and the criminals begin to argue among themselves. It is then that Kagano, who has been eavesdropping using his phone screen as a makeshift mirror, decides to intervene. In a daring move, he drops down from the building's skylight, like a stylish and enigmatic ruffian slayer. Kagano's swift action subdues the kidnappers and frees Nishino from her bonds before disappearing into the night, leaving her in awe of his bravery. Her dad, working behind the scenes, successfully prevents the incident from becoming public knowledge. The following day, Nishino goes to school as if nothing has happened, and there, at the entrance of the building, she finally meets Kagano. For the first time, he gets her name right. She realizes he has also been living his life behind a mask, just as she has. That night, Kagano has a maniac episode before finding himself in a surreal limbo. He reviews his life, which has been dedicated to martial arts to become strong, and yet he has always yearned to be the background character, the hero mastermind in the shadows. Nakano's new life starts as Sid in this enchanting new world, which is one filled with unexpected turns and surprising revelations. Born into an aristocratic family with a long lineage of dark knights, he is overshadowed by his talented older sister, Claire. It's a constant struggle to live up to her reputation and the weight of the family's expectations. Sid throws himself into his dark knight training, desperately trying to find a way to make his mark and differentiate himself from Claire. He wants to remain in the background, away from the spotlight. But fate has other plans. One day, in the midst of a battle with a group of menacing bandits, Sid's true potential emerges. To everyone's astonishment, he displays incredible power, defeating the bandits with a sword made of slime, a manifestation of his newfound abilities. This newfound power is only the beginning of Sid's remarkable journey. As he gets immersed in treasure left by the bandits, he stumbles upon a cursed entity, a hideous blob that seems beyond salvation. But Sid, driven by his innate sense of kindness and curiosity, manages to reverse the curse, turning the grotesque creature into a young elf girl. This event sparks a new idea in Sid's mind, the creation of his shadow persona. Sid names the elf girl Alpha and persuades her to join his organization, Shadow Garden, where she can help him achieve his goals and unlock his full potential. This marks the beginning of their unique partnership, one that holds the promise of great adventures. 3 years pass, and Claire is on the cusp of attending the prestigious Midgar Academy for Dark Knights. However, her world is soon turned upside down. She is kidnapped by some assailants, and it's up to Sid and his Shadow Garden, who has some new members by now, to unravel the mystery behind her abduction and rescue her. Their rescue mission leads them into a confrontation with the mastermind Viscount Grease, a formidable foe who has taken a mysterious pill to enhance his power. Sid, now in his shadow form, faces off against Grease in an intense battle of strength and wits. In the end, Sid emerges victorious, defeating Grease and rescuing Claire, whose injuries are miraculously healed. The shadows of Shadow Garden, his trusted companions, gather around him, informing Sid that it's time for them to part ways. Wait, what? Even our hero is shocked. Sid settles into life at the Midgar Academy, blending into the background like a master of invisibility. At the age of 15, he's just another student navigating the daily grind, riding the train to school with his equally unremarkable friends, Hiyoro and Imo. In a school defined by its rigid hierarchy, Sid is considered a lower-ranked noble, a far cry from elite honor students like his sister Claire, who has the privilege of residing on campus. For Sid and his friends, it means the daily commute and all the trials that come with it. But Sid learns to find contentment in this life, surrounded by his tight-knit group of background character friends. These are the people who share his journey, and he wouldn't trade them for all the fancy privileges in the world. His days at the academy are smooth sailing for 7 months, and he's comfortable with the status quo. That is until the day his friend nudges him about a forgotten bet. This bet has been lurking in the shadows, a ticking time bomb. Suddenly, Sid finds himself in a precarious position, bound by the penalty of having to confess his feelings to Princess Alexia, a figure notorious for being utterly unapproachable when it comes to suitors. To his astonishment, Alexia not only accepts his confession, but invites him to join a royal fencing class with her. It's a whirlwind turn of events, and Sid can't help but be swept up in the excitement of it all. Little does he know that the path ahead is riddled with complexity. As he spends more time with Alexia, he stumbles upon her real intention. She is using their relationship as a means of rebellion against her impending arranged marriage to Mr. Xenon, the fencing instructor. Sid is initially reluctant to play his part in this grand charade, but the allure of a gold coin as a token of her appreciation persuades him to continue. Turns out, love and gold coins have a lot in common. They both make people do crazy things. However, their relationship, built on a shaky foundation, is short-lived. A heated disagreement about fencing, something they are both passionate about, leads to an explosive breakup. Sid's world shifts once again, and the next day, everything takes a dark turn. Alexia is reported missing, and Sid finds himself thrust into the spotlight, not as the hero, but as the prime suspect in her mysterious disappearance.